Hello and welcome to episode 185 of TNI Impacted. I am still filling in for the Bison. I am your host, The Joker, and I am joined by our resident DJ, Limpstar. And
First pass every time.
yeah,
I'm taking them off. Sorry, mate. I ruined your intro. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm still just settling and getting my mind into actually onto everything. So but welcome to everyone who's following on YouTube and Twitch, and if you're listening on SoundCloud, Spotify, or iTunes, then welcome, guys. And yeah, so how have you been?
Yeah, man.
Great.
Busy. I'm like a dog chasing my tail, just running around in circles at the minute. So it's yeah, busy, lots going on. So but busy's good, right? Because you can't get bored.
Yeah, hello to just a quick run through the chats. Hello to Courtney. She's got her nickname of picture. That's fantastic.
Mrs.
That's
Nemeth.
fantastic news. Yeah, Mrs. Nemeth, that lucky guy. And shout out to Eric Isaac, who left a message earlier. Good, I guess the odds is setting up to be a banger, I can assure you. Especially after the finish that Roxanne Perez and Jordynne Grace had, but we'll get into that. There's a lot of controversy there. And hello to Mia. Hello to Hassan Terrell. No, I don't think we've seen you on the chat before, so welcome. And anybody else? Not yet, no. Just for you guys. Well, apologies, I'm a bit all over the place. They have a hell of a last few days of the dogs and other issues, so my head not had a lot of sleep, and so I'm going to be a bit on and off. Hopefully,
it's all good. It's all good.
Hopefully, we should still have a wonderful time.
Of course.
Let us get on with the news and rumours and recap of the week. First of all, start off with a belated happy birthday shout out to Jet Alexander from last Monday. Happy birthday to you. Of course, Josh Alexander's son and friend of the show, Jade Chung's son. And happy birthday to ODB from last week. And also happy birthday to former TNA knockout Diana Prazo. Once the knockout, always in knockout. And remember, she is the fucking greatest. And of course, the champ. She's the champ, hopefully, but she is still the fucking greatest.
Do you know what?
I am the fucking greatest.
I've not followed her over to where she went. Was it AEW? Is she on Ring of Honor now?
Yeah.
I'm not
She's
sure.
on AEW.
Yeah, I've not really followed over to there because I just had this feeling that they weren't going to get used properly, her and Taya. But you know, end of the day, money's money. You're on a short-term career, you know, when you're in your best fitness and stuff like that. So I can't criticize. I can only wish them well.
Oh, she's doing pretty well over there from what I can gather. She's getting a lot of exposure and doing a lot more than Taya Valkyrie has done so far, from what I can see.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah, hello to I can't pronounce your name. I do apologize. Eli
Samuel.
Yes, sorry. I can't pronounce. I got my bloody.
Gibster. We got Paul Mathewson. Happy days, guys. Good to see you.
How you doing, guys? Anyhow, let's get back onto this. Yes, just mentioned it now. Roxanne Perez retained the title against Jordynne Grace at NXT Battleground in a very, very intense match between the two of them, with a shocking, but where it ended with a shocking turn of events. After Tatum Paxley appeared at ringside, stole the TNA Knockouts World Championship, attempted to escape with it, and then Ash by Elegance of all people showed up, tried to snatch it back from her. Jordynne Grace took them both out, but this distraction allowed Perez to capitalize, hitting a finishing move, the Pop Rocks, to retain her title. I didn't get a chance to fully catch up on this match. I've only seen the highlights, and the recap there was off of the website itself.
Yeah.
But I do intend to watch this match. But that controversial finish has really, really opened the door on the open challenge that we've got coming up for Jordynne Grace's Knockouts World title now. And I think that's a hell of a way hell of a way to end the match and to make, it was a really good back and forth from what I could tell from the highlights, and the crowd was been into it, and the fans are still buzzing about it now from all sides, and it's just brought up again more names who what people want to see come across. They want people have shown interest in Leon Slater on the roster going over to NXT.
I will say quickly that, like, us with our English accents saying Ash by elegance takes away all the elegance. Like, we're like Ash by elegance, do you know what I mean? But you really need, like, you really need her concierge to do Ash by elegance, do you know what I mean? Because so much emphasis on it, we're just like, it's Ash elegance, do you know what I mean? Completely just destroy the whole character, the whole, like,
it's
fire behind it and stuff like that.
It's unintentional, I reckon. But the NXT roster was asked about some of the guys I'd like to see, and Josh Alexander and Leon Slater have been names that have come up. Moose's name has come up, but he's also said, if you want to book me in WWE, then you'll do better put me against some of the guys on Raw, SmackDown. Well, not to like belittle the NXT roster, but Moose is like as said, he's not interested in facing him on the roster. He said he appreciates the talent and everything, but who on that is going to make him look good when he's like a 5-star athlete, and
this is it.
And he said, I've beaten guys like Drew McIntyre, I've beaten LA Knight, I've beaten Bobby Lashley. Put me in a match with one of those guys and let's set the world on fire.
Who would be your dream match then from that roster, from over that side? Who would you put Moose against?
Moose, I'd love to see Moose and Bobby Lashley again. I must admit that would be interesting, seeing how both of them have moved on from 2016. I think it was the last time, or 2018 was the last time they faced off against each other. Something around about that time. So I'd love to see them go at it again, relive that old rivalry.
I might get it wrong, but I would probably put him against, I think it's Damian Priest.
Yeah.
I think that'd be quite a good match. That'd be quite, I think they're on a bit of a level.
Excuse me. And of course, the ABC have also said, and the Rascals have said that they're interested in working with anyone. I know recently Wesley was attacked in like a 3-on-1 assault backstage, and Zachary Wentz immediately said, if you ever need us, give us a bell. We'll be there. Putting the Rascals name forward if possible. I know that they could tear the place down, all three Rascals together on the NXT roster for a match or two.
Oh man, just imagine.
Yeah,
I'm a huge NWO fan. Like, I'm that big of an NWO fan. It's tattooed on me. Do you know what I mean? But like, I would love to see the Rascals, like, because they use the green spray, kind of like almost a nod to DX. But I'd love to see them just like run ragged with the whole thing. And like the dream scenario for me is like, obviously you got Wentz, and I want to say Trey is, but I'm not sure. But I think they're all Ohio linked.
Yes.
So I'd love to see kind of like a bigger version of OVE, but like a wider faction, if you know what I mean. That's just, I'm just talking dream sort of world, do you know what I mean? But I'd love to see, like, because Sammy does great like camera work and stuff like that, like his news bulletin and stuff from last week was it's hilarious. But like, I would love to see that sort of creativity if that was a thing. But I'm literally just spilling something out of my mind there. We'll go back to the show. I'm sorry, guys. Let's get back to the script.
Mia's mentioned about Moose doesn't want to wrestle Obafemi. He's I read this tweet earlier. It's something to do with Nigerian heritage. He doesn't want to face him. He doesn't. He doesn't want like a black on black. Like let's make that a showcase type thing. He if he's going to be in a match, he wants it to be against someone who is a huge name and a huge talent, and people are already like playing enough of that and taking the piss and everything. But Eric Isaac's come up with a good name one to put forward. Hammerstone versus Bron Breakker. Oh, God. That would be incredible. Just a big house fight like that would be really good. And hello to Dragonstorm.
What's this? I guess we are talking about Cody saying wrestlers from other locker rooms will be on NXT next week. Are we expecting a TNA appearance? Who knows? Do you know what? It's times like this. Like, I was quite vocal last week. I know I did strike a couple people's nerves, and I'm not saying that was my intention, but like, we've all got different opinions. I'm not really a WWE fan. I'm not really a fan of NXT. However, this working relationship we've got, it does look like it is 50-50 straight down the middle, and it's benefiting both sides.
Yeah.
I love that. I do love that. I'm still not drawn to NXT. Do you know what I mean? I look at like the clips and stuff like that and the highlights and that, but I'm not like, oh my God, I've got to check out NXT this week. Do you know what I mean? So I'm still kind of like on the fence about it. However, I do think that like if something's going to happen and you've got someone like Cody, who, let's not forget, Cody was, you know, with Kenny Omega and stuff like that, and kind of started the whole AEW movement. It looks like we have got people with great minds, great resources, great budget. You know, we could be looking at something crazy, and it's just a great time to be a wrestling fan at the moment when it's so unpredictable. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I feel like I'm 11 years old watching WCW again. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, oh my God, like, you know, who's this? And Sting comes down from the rafters and stuff. I'm not asking to recreate it. All I'm saying is that this is a new age of surprise, and I'm all for it. I am all for it. I've changed my mind since last week. I've had time to think.
Well, again, the excitement that Jordynne Grace's appearance on the NXT Battleground is just completely sent shockwaves around the entire rest. It's something that the wrestling community, especially on the internet, and that needed a real big, massive, positive shake up more than anything else. Just to show that, you know, wrestling is wrestling, and everyone just sit down, shut up, and enjoy it.
That's it.
Although that's probably me being now a bit too blunt, but
we're all entitled to our opinion, and I think that's something that I love about, especially this show. Do you know what I mean? Is that like Jason said before, we don't all have to agree, and that's kind of like, that's the joy of it. Do you know what I mean? It's not kind of like this is the way and that's the only way. You know, I think that's another reason why I like TNA. And like I'm just saying to Paul in the comments, Paul Matthewson, saying about WCW, like me and Paul, we're obviously a little bit older sort of thing, but we've experienced an alternative to the big shiny brand. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the way that we've gone from Impact into TNA, and this product has attracted WWE. They've kind of been like, whoa, we don't want a repeat of like WCW. Let's get these guys on board and say, look, let's just kind of like not necessarily fully work together, but let's like be respectful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because I don't know if you I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but they had it was back when Lex Luger was, I think he was Intercontinental Champion in WWF, and his contract ran out. And because they didn't have this, like, you know, 90-day wrestling clause, the next day after his contract ran out, he turned up in a shopping mall where they had a WCW, and turned up, and it completely, like, you know, people, there was no social media back then. So it's all like people phone up like, oh my God, you know, look at WCW, like Lex Luger's on there. And it was just, you know, I've been watching the Who Killed WCW thing. That's kind of why I've got my Outsiders t-shirt on today, because I'm relevant. I'm staying up with the times.
And even Leon Slater said that, you know, as guys on the NXT roster he'd love to face. I do forget the names he put out there, but I think I sent the clip in message in on the file online messenger, so I'll put that in the comments after we've finished. But, you know, as guys on the roster he'd love to face, and he was asked that the other question, if you could go for someone on the main roster, who would you like to pick? And the first guy he said was AJ Styles. You know, the guy who put TNA wrestling on the map, and what you know, and that made that even caught Leon Slater's eye. What a dream match that would be! And
it'd be amazing.
I would be incredible. I would love to see that too.
He had a UK appearance, Leon Slater, recently, and he he gave massive credit to Shelton Benjamin, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
He said that was a guy that he like followed and looked up to and stuff like that. Like, obviously go and look at Leon's speech and like hear it from him, not secondhand from me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm only like, taking bits out of it. But like, that's huge. Do you know what I mean? To see that Leon has grown up and followed some of these guys, and now we have him on our roster. The only thing I'm worried about in a minute is he's very young, and exposing him to NXT and WWE. I can't see him sticking around in TNA for very long if they do, give him that blank check. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that we keep him because
he's signed for at least 2 or 3 years, so he's with us for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, as I'm just reading some of the comments now. Paul Matthews saying as long as we don't get them slagging TNA like Tony Khan did. Yeah, I agree with that fully. Phil, I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels and Triple H aren't going to be like Vince McMahon or Tony Khan, and they're going to keep it professional.
No.
Shawn Michaels I think is fully in charge of NXT, and he's done an amazing job. Getting Jordynne Grace involved, and it was just great to see all the pictures and stuff of Shawn Michaels and Jordynne Grace and everything back. It was so good to see all of that too, and it's an interesting time. God, there's just so much. There's just so much building up there. You could talk about that for hours. We've got to get on with this, or else I'm going to bore everyone to death, and I'm probably going to forget where I'm going too much. TNA has officially begun its total Nonstop Summer Tour. TNA will be touring across the US and Canada, and here's the schedule of the entire tour. They're building up throughout the summer, basically up until Bound for Glory this October. So. June 14th and 15th, they'll be at the Sakara Stadium in Chicago, Illinois, which we know will be the next set, where the next set of tapings are. June 20th, 29th, they're at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. July 21st, the Verdun Auditorium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, for a Slammiversary as well. August the 2nd and 3rd, they'll be back in Florida State Fairgrounds. August 30th and 31st. Oh, sorry, I've just jumped ahead. August 30th and 31st, they'll be at Old Foresters in Paris Town Hall. Christ, that's a mouthful. In Louisville, Kentucky. And September 13th, 14th, September 13th and the 14th, they'll be at Temple Live Cleveland, Masonic Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. When they go back to Ohio, I would love to see Mike Santana versus Jake Crist 1-on-1.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking about that when I read this lineup this morning and when I read it last night, and I was going through. I was thinking about how Santana has moved on as a singles competitor.
Yeah.
This came on after I watched this promo with Steve Mackin saying, I've moved on from tag team wrestling. I don't want to do that. But as soon as I heard him say that, and I read that they're going to be coming back to Ohio, I thought I'd love to see Jake Crist come back to TNA for that match, for a match against Santana 1-on-1. Seeing how both of them have gone through such a huge amount of changes, and since they've branched away from tag team wrestling, gone on their own, Jake Crist has become.
Yeah, man, I'd love to see that too. I think we need to get Jason to send the text.
Yeah, we need to get...
like if Jake needs any references or anything like that, then send them our way, and we'll back it because we want to see it. That would be amazing. Do you know what I mean? And like you said, both those guys have gone through an incredible journey personally and stuff like that, and. I'd just, to be fair, I'd love to see those guys fight, obviously, but I'd love to see them guys just talk. Do you know what I mean? Just have a chat and just kind of see how each other's got on and how their journeys have been, because both of them are phenomenal talents. And I, for one, I can't believe that Jake Crist isn't in TNA full time anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's a strange one to me, but
he's getting so much out of being an independent wrestler. It's just a lot more weight off his shoulders to freely go where he sees fit. And
Yeah.
Dragonstorm's got a question for everyone, and a quite interesting one too. Do you think Leon Slater has a chance to become the youngest ever TNA World Champion? He's currently 19, and the youngest ever champion is 24. I think he does. I honestly thought Ace Austin was going to be the one to do it when during the whole Tessa Blanchard Ace Austin, when that battle kicked off at the start of 2020. I thought Ace Austin might win this.
Yeah.
And there was still
I
a
think,
chance.
like, I would say, you're definitely right there. Like, I definitely thought Ace was going to win it and become like the youngest champion, but obviously it's not happened. But I don't know. Going back to what I said about like maybe NXT and WWE try to take him. I think like Dragonstorm's got a good point now. I reckon when he's like 2-3 years into that contract, I reckon that's when he's going to start getting the X Division title shots and maybe do an option C. I love the option C. I mention it every week. Someone's going to do an option C at some point. Do you know what I mean? But I reckon Dragonstorm's on something now. I reckon we will see Leon Slater as probably the youngest champion. I'd love that. I'd love that. And Bison's in the chat.
Bison's in the chat, and Courtney's saying hello to the Bison. I just clicked on the wrong thing. Yeah, how has Turkey been? Everyone wants to know how Turkey's been. We've seen some of the pictures; they're amazing.
Yeah,
he's on the.
He's had his teeth done. He's had his tits done. He's got hair extensions. Turkey Tits tan. Bison will be back next week. Yeah. Turkey tan. He's got everything.
Turkey trot. Cause I'm sick.
Oh man.
And someone else who was we mentioned option C. Mustafa Ali was also teasing about option C on Twitter as well.
Yeah,
that I can see that happening after after against all odds. If he most likely retains against Trent Seven, I can see him then going in for option C, and that would be a great way to push the story forward with where he's going.
Oh no!
But
I was going to say that it makes sense as well with him being on Wrestling Observer and being. I might get this wrong, and I do apologize if I get it wrong, but I think he said something about being the first Muslim Pakistani champion as well. So that's huge. You know what I mean, that's a great deal. And you know, he's like I was always obsessed with him. I was like, oh, he's only doing 6 appearances. I don't know where I read that. That must have been just the worst rumor ever, because I want this guy to stay. I really do.
Yeah.
And I know that he's not going, but it's just I want him around, because he's fantastic to watch, fantastic in the ring. He's got everything, isn't he? And now he's got Campaign Singh by his side.
Other talent that will be on the summer tour this is all from the TNA website will be Moose, Matt Hardy, Nick Nemeth, Mike Santana, Steve Macklin, Josh Alexander, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, Mustafa Ali, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, PCO, and more. So talent that we expected to be also, such as Mustafa Ali, Nick Nemeth, and Matt Hardy, will most likely be with us up until Bound for Glory, which is incredible news. And from the Knockouts division, so far confirmed, Ash Bayel against Gisele Shaw, Tasha Steeles, Alicia Edwards, Masha Samovich, Danny Luna, and Jody Threat, amongst others still to come. So we've got a huge amount of talent are going to be present throughout the entire summer season, basically. So from now through till October. So that's incredible. To know that them, and then there's room for more to come in, room for others to. It's just a great time for Impact to even be pushing this out and really promoting. You know, we spoke a few times in the past about, you know, their promotion tools are getting better and better. This is just a huge massive bombshell to drop, and it's a bloody good one too. Yeah. Bison's calling for Ricochet to come back and have Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali, because I know Ricochet's contract with WWE is also come to an end, or he's not said he's not going to be signing on, which is.
It made me laugh, because like a lot of the fans were going wild because like, haha, bye Ricochet, because they put him in an ambulance because he got like power bombed or slammed or something through a car windscreen, and I was just like, that's like pretty rough and that, but he gets put in an ambulance, they're all laughing it off. And I was just like, hang on, isn't that how like AJ left TNA, or isn't that how like RVD left TNA? It's just, it's kind of a textbook finish to someone being written out, if you know what I mean. But
and
I'd love
Bison,
to see him.
another one, Leon Slater versus Ricochet. That would be fucking good. That
Can you
would
imagine?
be, oh yes, that would be amazing. But you know, Ricochet is someone that I've seen on enough, and I was really impressed with him when I've seen him, and I would love to see him back in TNA. That would be incredible.
It was amazing back when I used to watch Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I've only seen the first season of that, and then I couldn't find it. I missed it when it was all actually on like I had to find it on an external website and find it there, but I only managed to get through the one season, and then all the episodes, the website was recently shut down, so I couldn't get to them. So I'm really annoyed that I missed the last 2 or 3 seasons of it, and this is a shame that that's gone on. Anyhow, we'll quickly run through Xplosion and last week's Impact Wrestling before we go on to the preview of Against All Odds. Xplosion, we got From the Vault, featuring the IWPG World Championship match between Kurt Angle and Yuji Nagata. I probably pronounced that wrong, but this is when during the TNA Global Impact in 2008. This was an incredible match. You know, Kurt Angle, you're going to expect nothing less, but these two, they really put on a wrestling masterclass in this one. I sort of briefly watched the highlights while I was still writing up all the script and everything for this, so I did catch a bit of that. Lars Fredrickson went around the ring with Gia Miller, talking about how wrestling influenced him in his career in music, how he's just been a huge wrestling fan all his life, why he's working with Jody Threat and Danny Luna, and what he hopes to bring with them. It was a really good, interesting talk between them two. And we then got the highlights of Nick Nemeth versus Frankie Kazarian before the Xplosion match of Cinder and Saint versus the Good Hands. And this was we got a really, really good showcase from the Good Hands in this match. They got the victory, and it was one hell of a match. So one really worth checking out. You can check it out on YouTube. You can check it out on TNA Plus. It's free to watch anywhere where you can find it. It's really worth checking out this match. The Good Hands on winning form again. Even in their promo, they were saying that they were pissed off that they were losing too much, so they're going to make an example of these Hammer Neggers. Just reminded me of Johnny Swinger. Yeah.
Bring him back. Yeah, I want Swinger to take option C.
Yeah, we miss a swing man. But yeah, I'm just reading what Dragon Slam's saying about Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle defended the TNA World Championship against Brock Lesnar in Japan before. Wow, I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Wow, that's incredible. Before Brock Lesnar left the WWE for the first time, so there was a very, very slight TNA versus WWE moment back then. Back when Brock Lesnar was an absolute beast and actually enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
You know, the matches he had back then, against Chris Benoit, they were incredible. You know, they recently saw a highlight reel of that match. Benoit was the first guy to get him to tap out, and then when that match was incredible and one hell of a rivalry. And Lesnar versus The Rock was a great rivalry.
Yeah. Like, clip it up on YouTube if you must, but honestly, I think Chris Benoit was an incredible wrestler.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. One of my favorite ever matches in my top 5 would have been Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit, 1996 New Japan Pro Wrestling, I believe.
Yes,
that's where it was.
Incredible,
insane. Just like, if you want to see when people go like, "Oh, wrestling's fake," show them that match, and just be like, right, now let's reenact what they've done, because all of that match hurt. You could tell. Do you know what I mean? Two incredible wrestlers.
Bison saying his job's on the line and he needs to up his game. I can assure you, you don't need to change anything. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be happy when we go back to the old format a lot more. There'll be less stuttering and more left hits out.
So everyone wants.
Anyhow, let's a quick run through of last week before we go on to the preview, because there isn't a lot of matches been given away for against all odds. So I did get, do a bit of an in-depth review of last week too. We got, and of course it being the 20th anniversary of TNA as well, TNA Impact. So sorry, it was worth giving it a bit more in-depth look at this too. We kicked off with Jake Something versus Khan. Nothing else to say about that match, really. To be honest, really, Jake Something just dominated him pretty much most of the match. After the match, Khan got through a hissy fit, tried to break his neck. Eric Young comes out after the match, kicking Khan's ass. Surprise, surprise. Thanks to fans for making it. He thanks the fans for everything. And makes it known that this is TNA's 20th anniversary, so he's not going to let anyone detract from that and take all the attention away from that, which is another reason why he just came out and whipped Khan's ass.
I did kind of find it a bit weird because, like, of all the people to come out, I thought it would have been Cody Deaner to kind of follow the whole Jake Something and Cody storyline, but then it confused me a bit with Eric coming out, and then I kind of thought, how's this going to evolve? Because obviously, Jake's got history with Cody, and Con and Cody have got history with Eric. So it's put a whole different dynamic on that storyline for me. Like, I know that he kicked Con's ass and stuff like that, but I'm kind of like, where does this go next? So I'd love to see that, blossom into a great storyline, but who knows? Like, it was great to see the fact that one of the TNA OGs was, in the ring there. You know what I mean?
Eric Young was like there to kick off TNA Impact Wrestling as well, he's also probably the voice of TNA. We got Josh Alexander and Moose as like the standards of TNA. Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian like the voices of TNA wrestling.
Yeah.
So Eric Young coming out to make this statement was like, really, I'm the OG here. Shut up and pay attention to me. And Jake Something finishing off into the void. Shout out to Abyss and everything. Great. It was a not great finish, but it was just Con losing it again, and it's just not making the baddest man look bad in the right way.
His contracts are Con. Do you know what I mean? I think the clue's in the name. Just thanks for stopping by. Do you know what I mean? Like, who would win out of Con and Swinger? Come on, do you know what I mean? Like, it's.
I mean,
he would.
He died at ringside too. He'd come back and help Con.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Backstage, we have Frankie Kazarian being interviewed by Jim Miller, talking about his match against Nick Nemeth later on in the night, how he feels about it. But his interview is quickly hijacked by the system as they try to get Kaz to possibly join them. But he makes it known that his sights are set on the world title, and he intends on taking out Nick Nemeth for the system, seeing as they failed to do so, playing them in a favor for a favor game of his own. Moose promises to Kaz a world title shot if he can take Nick Nemeth out before against all odds. Frankie Kazarian accepts, but reminds or taunts Moose that he still has to deal with Matt Hardy. So could he still be champion by the time he faces Frankie Kazarian? And of course, Moose did take a bit of exception to that, but not so much that fist went flying. He just sort of tried to. And then we get a backstage segment continues with Seth Delander and Gia Miller. She talks about, tissue's ready. and
you were saying?
Oh God.
You've lost it.
Gia then interviews Steph Delander, who speculates that PCO might have a crush on her. And Xia Brookside then joins the conversation and describes his gesture as sweet. It suggests that Steph Delander take a step back. You know, it was all cute, and take her time before she makes this decision about what she wants to feel, how she really feels about PCO, and how she wants to interpret it. Steph says she'll give it a week, so we'll get her answer. But so this was just a great segment to make light of a pretty confusing and somewhat bland turn of events for PCO. It's just it's always good to see Steph Delander and Xia Brookside. They're getting some great chemistry between each other, and I can see them, if they ever get another match or two again, they could get a real good rivalry developing from there. But it was a good state bit just to progress the storyline forward between Moose and Steph. Not Moose, sorry, for PCO and Steph Delander. Don't know why I thought Moose. Christ, Moose and Steph Delander. Christ, imagine that'd be one hell of a rivalry.
To be fair, like I know I'm throwing in like a different world on that. I noticed that Tommy Dreamer appeared on GCW recently. The current GCW champion is I forgot his name. My mind's gone blank. Have I forgot his name? Mance Warner. Sorry, I knew it was there. You can see the cogs turning. So Mance Warner is the I'm sorry, Mance, if you do see this. He's the current GCW heavyweight champion. He is the current partner of Steph Delander. He kind of had this storyline with Steph Delander in MLW that we're having in Impact. And I personally would like to see Mance on TNA claim his lady from PCO. I say this because we know that PCO will go through the most hardcore of matches.
Yeah.
Mance Warner is the GCW champion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he is just, you know, the king of hardcore, if you will. Right? So seeing that match on TNA,
Matt Cardona would disagree.
Yeah. However, but then I'm not sure. Like I think if Matt heard that just egg him on. Do you know what I mean? Because Matt Cardona, he's highlighted all of the things that he's done since he's left WWE, and you know, I wasn't a fan of him when he was Zack Ryder in WWE.
Ryder.
That, you know, woo, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Now, just like Matt Cardona is just money. Do you know what I mean? That's a guy who has my attention. Do you know what I mean? He's a hell of a wrestler. I'd love him to pop back onto TNA, but it doesn't look like that's going to be anytime soon. Especially, well, I think in August or something. He's off to Australia. But anyway, I digress. What I'm saying is, I think Steph Delander should call on Mance Warner to sort out this issue, if you will, with PCO, and us as TNA fans, we would benefit from that. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. Let's quickly check where we are on the notes. We then got the Gisele Shaw versus Shazza McKenzie. We got the return of Gisele Shaw after her loss against Jordynne Grace back at Hard to Kill. We got the debut of the quintessential knockout in a pretty dominant and still highly competitive match. Gisele Shaw picks up the win. Just a great match, a great way to welcome Gisele Shaw back into the ring and put over this new era. You know, Gail Kim said, you know, just you are a knockout. You don't need a entourage. You don't need anybody else, you know, backing you or in your corner. You can do this on your own. And this is now the beginning of the repackaging of Gisele Shaw. She is now the quintessential knockout, and it was a really good match.
Yeah,
too, really good. Rosemary continues to go down a darker path, seemingly letting go more of what's past, and I think we even saw a glimpse of what's to come when she says, "Let's let all sins go, all sins must die," or something, and we saw a silhouette of what might be coming next. You know, different appearance, different suit coming forward. Here we go. Mia's just no surrender was Gisele Shaw's last match. Yeah, thank you, Mia. I did want to make sure I got that right. So thanks, sir.
We can always count on me to.
No.
I
I honestly did forget when her last match was. So I did. I wanted to get it right. So cheers. That's why I like the chat. It's nice.
I love you, Mia.
No. Seriously, it's good to have people.
It's good to have me around. We like me.
It's good to know when I've fucked up, basically, and someone's corrected me. We go on to Steve Macklin goes backstage to try and get Mike Santana back on his side. Still wanting to settle things between himself and Mike Santana. Macklin convinces a reluctant Santana to return to tag team wrestling, teaming up with Macklin so they can get rid of the Rascals once and for all before they take care of business. Assuming they do, this team is one and done regardless. Once the match against the odds is over, they finish what they started when Santana returned at Rebellion.
I'm pretty sure I called that. Pretty sure.
That promo and what the immersed documentary from the week before, that really added to this whole thing.
Yeah.
This match is probably going to be one of the matches of the night, and I am really looking forward to this. To the how Macklin and Santana are going to work here. We've seen him in Kazarian breakdown. Are they going to really work as a team, and then let it go? And then, is it going to be one and done, or is it going to be the Rascals somehow piss them off even more? And while they won't be tagging together still,
that backstage bit where they spoke to each other, it was really good how they referenced without referencing, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he didn't directly say Ortiz, but it was just like, that part of my life is behind me. We don't do that anymore. And I thought, we know ourselves, Joe. Do you know what I mean? And Jason, we were all big fans of LAX matches. From the early one to the recreated one. There was that weird one in the middle as well, wasn't there? But no one talks about that one. But Santana and Ortiz against the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, OVE.
The OGs, all that sort of stuff. That was a great time for Impact in that. And the fact that we're going to see a former heavyweight champion teaming up with by far one of the halves of one of the best tag teams that's ever been in TNA. I can't wait for it. Honestly, I can't wait for it. And with that said, one of the best tag teams that are currently going, the Rascals, we cannot undersell Wentz and Trey. I'll say it, as much as I want to see Macklin and Santana win, I don't think they do. I really don't think they do, because the Rascals, they've got that next level sort of understanding. The other one knows what the other one's doing before they do it. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking Punk. Thank you very much for that super sticker.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you. I'll try.
Shout out a fucking Punk, just so I can say it. Fucking Punk. Cheers, man.
Win or lose, this is like a one-off between with Macklin and Santana. So how it ends is going. It might dictate how intense the rivalry goes. If they lose, it's like this is your fault. This is your fault. The rivalry intensifies that way, and if they win, then they can settle the differences professionally and then move on, which is what Macklin really wants, is to just settle it and move on, and then see each other down the road, sort of thing. But if they lose, it'll blow up, and then we'll probably get some really PCO versus Macklin style matches with Santana instead, which would be incredible. Because it'd be a great way to push them through till Summerversary and see where things go from there.
Yeah.
We go on to match 3, which is Speedball Mountain versus Champagne Singh and Mustafa Ali. Looking at how far we're doing for time, I was going to give you guys the full rundown for this, but looking at the time, I don't want to go on for too long because we have got the actual preview. So I'll just say that this was match of the night for me. Incredible match, back and forth, shenanigans, the works in this match. One to definitely go and check out if you've not seen it yet. Especially the finish with Mike Bailey's out cold on the ring after Mustafa Ali springboards off one of his own personal securities to hit him with a DDT.
Yeah.
In the ring, Trent Seven has got campaign sting up for the Birmingham Hammer. And rather than go in and save him and win the match, Mustafa Ali just backs out, literally just sits there and lets him get destroyed and goes away with a loss, but still unscathed, so we say. So,
shout to Gibster as well. Thank you very much. Gibster sent us a super sticker. Brilliant.
Who booked this?
I'm getting trolled here.
There we go. I said I'd try and get a standby out for you guys. I got one out for that was for both of you. We got there in the end. Slowly picking through everything. Oh god, it's so on edge, doing everything with one hand free, and the other one holding the laptop steady because it's set on a chair. So, god. We then this match, the match was incredible, and it's just great storytelling to give Trent Seven the edge and momentum going forward in this match. Although Mustafa Ali technically didn't lose the match, so there's really no skin off of his back as far as he's concerned. No. Really. We got on to match 4, Allysin Kay versus Jordynne Grace. Great to see Allysin Kay back. We were, after being treated to another uninvited appearance from the personal concierge, though. Concierge. He announces the return of Ash by Elegance after her life-threatening minor surgery. They take their seats at ringside. The match gets underway, and in a great back and forth between Grace and Kay, showcasing Jordynne Grace's wrestling, counter wrestling, and power game abilities throughout ahead of a match against Roxanne Perez at NXT Battleground. Jordynne Grace does eventually get the win. This match was really good. It was great to see Allysin Kay back, and great to see her in the ring again. Think he's up, indeed. It's always good to see Allysin Kay, and always good to see Mighty Bell. But
always good to see Pinkies.
Always good to see Pinkies. And I was going to say something else then, but I'm not going to now because it crossed my mind. They went, no. Don't step over the line. Don't go too far.
We are on YouTube. It's a family show.
Yeah. But this match was good. It really did. If any WWE fans were watching who still hadn't really paid attention to Jordynne Grace or wanted to see more on Jordynne Grace, this was a great match to showcase what she could do. And Allysin Kay was a great opponent to really show this. And then, of course, this built momentum again for Jordynne Grace going into NXT Battleground. And it also adds more to Ash by Elegance turning up there too. She's always there where Jordynne Grace is in a match. So it's sort of like it's almost hinting at who one of the potential people will be answering the open challenge will be. But I can see it being more than just one.
Yeah.
But we'll go on to that when we do eventually get onto the preview. But again, there wasn't a lot of matches announced, so I thought I'd add the last weekend as well. So we then got Sami Callihan's show DMTV was back, and he tells Gresham that he's still feeling like garbage after his encounter with the Octopus. He mentions he's planning on having sushi for dinner against the odds. Another brilliantly put together promo from Sami. It's just so great to see the Death Machine back, but this was brilliant. He got just it's almost like they gave Sami total control over the production and everything of this. Is because he was unhinged throughout of it. You know, dropping the occasional swear word in, and then he went from a real, almost serious promo to the comical bit when he gets the news, has himself as that newscaster guy to announce.
It's amazing, man.
So it's just great showcase of what Sammy can do when you give him full control.
Honestly, I'm full well. I'll probably get on Jason's nerves about it. To be fair, I'm a massive Sammy fan. I'm really glad that he's back, and like, you know, to give him creative control on a TNA show, like, you know, it's just it's absolute gold, and I can't wait to see what else he gets up to. Do you know what I mean? He's just insane. They don't call him the Draw for nothing.
Definitely. Match 5, we get AJ Francis versus Laredo Kid for the Digital Media Championship. After another very impressive match from AJ Francis and multiple distractions from Rich Swann would eventually cost Kid his title after he took a dive off the top rope, or off the turnbuckle outside the Swann. And then when he brought his attention back into Francis, he was caught and hit with the down payment, resulting in Francis winning the Digital Media Championship. I'm pretty disappointed to see Laredo Kid lose the belt so soon. But
yeah,
the way that this was played out was great in storytelling, storytelling in general. You know, Rich Swann is being a pain in the ass, and Laredo Kid has always got that knack of trying to even the odds wherever possible. And the thing is, he just tried too much. You know, throughout this entire match, he would constantly get his attention off of AJ Francis and go for Swann, and it just eventually caught up with him.
And if you're not first class,
yeah.
I'm taking the glass off as well. It's making my eyes go funny.
It was, and I'm hoping we'll get the rematch either against the odds. We'll definitely get the rematch. I nearly said prior, post against all odds. So
I just think that, like, with AJ Francis, I know that he's got a bad rap. You know, something about diving. I'm not sure if we've, you know, there's something about that.
You are banned from diving.
And as mad as that sounds, to have
You are banned from diving.
The fact he's banned from diving means we get more power moves, I think. And I think, you know, the choke slams and stuff like that, he's one of the best. Like, I'll go back to Hard to Kill choke slam on some guy. I can't remember what's his name. Oh, Joe Hendry.
I had that somewhere up at the other end of the bloody thing now. So
well, when you say his name,
you say his name when he appears.
Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
We got there eventually. Oh well.
But like, you know, his choke slam on AJ. I'm going to say AJ Tracy again. Sorry, AJ Tracy. I know that it's going to be a diss rap if I keep on saying your name. AJ Francis's choke slam on Joe Hendry at Hard to Kill. Like, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's clean cut. One of the best power moves I think I've ever seen in wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think, like, with this bad rap that you've got against AJ Francis and stuff, like, you know, people ridiculing him and that, he's got a point to prove. He's now a champion in TNA, and I fully think he deserves it. I fully think he deserves it. As a big dude, he's going to come out of his shell and just be a great wrestler. And, you know, he's doing great on MLW. Weird storyline there, but, like, you know, in TNA, I think that he could be one of the top power guys, to be fair.
Yeah, just really missed from Gibbs there. Is it true that Kenny King is coming back? And if so, do you think it would be a good addition to First Class?
I would love that.
I had no idea that Kenny King was considering coming back. If he is, then him in First Class would be perfect. Although, would it suit him though? You know, because Kenny King is one of these guys who I would love to see. I'd love to see if he comes back, go for the world title.
Yeah.
Rather than be in a stable or stuck in the mid card. He's someone who, you know, he's come in, won the X Division title a couple of times. He's come in, he's been
King.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that needs, if he comes back, he needs to go. He needs that step up that he deserves. and he's one
Yeah,
of these
he
guys.
done the same as Joe Hendry for me, because like Joe Hendry done his time in Impact and
Yeah,
then kind of like, you know, went away, come back and has absolutely dominated it. Kenny
yeah,
King done the same. I felt like we had that no holds barred match between him and Mike Bailey
yeah,
with like no ropes and all that. Like, that was insane. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I don't think that went far enough. But like, yeah, Kenny King is just an insane wrestler, and I'd love to see him back if he does come back.
We'll keep our eyes open on the website, and I did check this morning just to see if there's anything else, but no, nothing new. We then check why I'm on the script because we then go on to we got the look ahead at what's happening this week, and we then go on to the main event between Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth. After another fantastic performance from both, Nick Nemeth would eventually emerge victorious, only to suffer a beatdown from Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers. After Ryan Nemeth tries to even the odds, Moose comes out, spearing both of the Nemeth brothers. Surprisingly, Joe Hendry comes out and then to take on the system, but suffers a beatdown after Alicia Edwards stops him, clearing house. Hendry then suffers an implant DDT from Myers, a busted knee party from Eddie Edwards, and a spear from Moose. While the system stands tall in the ring, they receive an invite to the Hardy compound this Thursday, as TNA goes off air. Now, Eddie Edwards put a tweet up earlier on today saying the last time he was there, the whole place was blown up by a volcano, and he was wrestling Bobby Lashley in the middle of nowhere. so God knows what, and he says so God knows what it's going to be like now. I love that he gave a shout out and a nod back to hit the fact that he's been there before. So, but even Eddie Edwards doesn't know what to expect. But when I saw the promo come up from Matt Hardy, I was like, oh my God, could we see Jeff Hardy? You know, and he said he showed the family, but we didn't see Jeff obviously then. But
everyone knows that that's what we want. Do you know what I mean? And Matt's always going to look after his brother. But if it happens, then who knows? But I'm gonna be against it and saying, nah, I don't think we do. And I'd love to be proved wrong. To be fair.
Yeah. Like, you know, I honestly thought Matt would be out of action, and then they've replaced him with Jeff Hardy at Against All Odds. But but anyway, that would be a cheap way to just give someone else a world title shot. But you know, when we got Nick Nemeth, who should be up there. So that promo was like, wow, this is really setting up all eyes on this week now. So before we finally get onto the preview of what matches have been announced for Against the Odds, please take the time to share and like the show if you guys have enjoyed it so far, to help promote this TNI and of course TNA to all the masses out there. We do appreciate any feedback and everything that comes in, and the chat. I'm seeing what's been said here. You guys have been amazing again. Thank you so much. I don't thank you guys enough. So thank you for keeping in contact and keeping my attention on everything else, because otherwise I'll be a bit more of a confused mess than I am now, I can assure you. Anyhow, we go on to Against the Odds. These are the confirmed matches so far. On the countdown to Against the Odds, we have Sami Callihan versus Jonathan Gresham. That's the only match announced currently but I can see Danny Luna and Jody Threat versus Alison Kay and Marty Bell being here. But because Danny Luna has got a match against Jody Threat's got a match against Marty Bell on Thursday. So and it just seems like the natural way, because Alison Kay said last week that they're going to be sticking around a little while longer too. So it just makes quite good sense to see them. That'll be an interesting match.
Am I right in saying that the countdown goes out on YouTube for free?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I'm sure it still will do. Now that seeing as they've taken the whole Ultimate Insider stuff, and it's just the one subscription thing now. I'm still sure the countdown will go out for free, and it's just to get if you enjoy it, go and get it on the Apple.
That's two huge matches when you think about it, going out for free.
Yeah.
Like, so if we do get some casuals from over that side watching us, then that's two great matches to represent what we're about.
And going on to against the odds.
Sorry, I just
Yeah.
Hi Jimmy, thanks for that.
So yeah, I saw
I'm not
that
reading it
comment.
out.
I know, I saw that too, and I was trying to not laugh as well. For those listening, all you need to know it was a bit rude.
It's well, I don't know. It could be to do with the clock tower. Who knows?
You never know. Anyhow, the confirmed matches for Against the Odds so far are Eric Young and Josh Alexander versus the ABC. So a great way to welcome Josh Alexander back into the match after his injuries. Now it's good to see he's finally able to compete again. Mike Santana and Steve Mackin versus the Rascals. Trent Seven versus Mustafa Ali for the X Division title. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers versus Nick and Ryan for the TNA Tag Team Champions. Excuse me. Jordynne Grace's open challenge for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Here, I can see it being a 3 or a 4-way match. I can see Ash by Elegance being the most likely one to come out and accept the challenge.
Okay.
But we've also got I forget her name now. It's right at the top of the script, so I'm not going to be strolling. It was the one who took Jordynne Grace's title during the match to gain out, and she was eyeing it up before she even had the match with Roxanne Perez. She was eyeing it up when she was backstage and she was talking to Mia Yim.
Right.
Tatum Paxley, thank you. I can see her being another one to come out and answer the call, or be her and Ash by Elegance, or I can also see
it's a mad crossover, isn't it?
Yeah, or I can see Roxanne Perez coming out and saying, "You came into my backyard, I'm going to come into your backyard, and I'm going to go for it," and then have all, and yeah, and either have a one-on-one between them, or we do like a 3-way here on TNI. So have Ash by Elegance in there too, because she has been, hovering, trying to get away into that world titles picture without really wrestling a match and beating anyone. She tried to get over Santana. She tried to weasel away several times. It's not Santana. Yeah, Santina Morales, sorry. And it didn't work. So this, and this being an open challenge, it's her way of getting in. So we can see Ash by Elegance definitely being one of the names in there. But Tatum Paxley or Roxanne Perez coming in too, I can see that coming or happening as a possibility. And
I want to know what happens to Roxanne or Paxley if they come over. I want to know what happens when they go back. Are they going to get more of a push? Are they going to then are they going to go on to like SmackDown or Raw? Is this like, generating hype for their stars as well? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know a lot about those girls, I'll be honest, but it's just like, are we getting all the smoke for Jordynne Grace? It's such a weird deal. I really do hope that WWE reward their girls as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Paul, I love your comment. Wouldn't we all, mate? Wouldn't we all?
Well, we do like I said, we do like a 3-way.
We love a 3-way in TNA. Tits and ass.
And of course, the main event is Moose versus Broken Matt Hardy for the TNA World Championship. There's room for at least two more matches on the main show and another one on the countdown. But that lineup that's been released within about just under the 2 weeks since we've had the last special. It's incredible. Once again, TNA are doing a great job in setting up a huge, like, wow, we must come watch this type situation on such short notice. It's just the advertising and the promotion has just gone through the roof for the past couple of years, and people were expecting it to drop or go backwards when Scott D'Amore was booted out. It's just carried on. It's they've just kept the momentum going forward, and it's just been brilliant. A quick look ahead to this Thursday before we round up. We have Danny Liller versus Tasha Steeles, Santana versus Zachary Wentz, Ash Bale against will be in action, Masha Slamovich versus Marty Bell, Nick and Ryan Nemeth versus the ABC, and the System will be entering the Highly Compound. So
That's going to be nuts.
I'm looking. We've got a hell of a week this week before Against All Odds, but this Thursday is setting up some really good like swings and roundabouts for the Friday. Santana,
like I said earlier, it's just, man, it's so mad. Just to like you can't predict it.
yeah,
It's just and like I've said before on this show, like as soon as TNA starts, boom, you get a pay-per-view quality match.
yeah.
Like from the beginning, it's so much better than it was. It's changed a lot, and honestly, my mind's blown with being a TNA fan at the moment. It's so good.
Looking at the website, I think they're kicking off like with Nick and Ryan Nemeth versus ABC. So they're kicking it off with like two huge names versus the top tag team, and that's just incredible.
Courtney, I love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god, it's going to be good. And yeah, again, it's great.
Adam, yes, we believe. Who do you believe in, Adam?
Oh god, it's all it's too far up, and we're so close to ending.
It's always worth it.
Yeah, it's always worth it. It's that's where my how my mind is at the moment. Basically, things are coming and going.
Delete.
Yeah. Anyway,
Adam believes in a little bit of the bubbly.
Ooh,
a little bit of the bubbly. Sorry, back on track.
Yes, that's all we have for this week, guys. If you want to show your support for the TNI UK team, please feel free to send a super sticker as two of the guys in the chat have already. So thank you very much to everyone in the chat for bearing with us while the Bison is away. Or feel free to head over to prowrestlingtees.com/Nonstop Impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store. The links are below in the description. All TNI shows are available for you to listen on the go, fans, via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. You can find the Joker on Twitter or X at I just bloody forgotten now, at JOK empty space, or you can jump onto YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, look for hashtag empty space, hashtag enter the void, or if you fancy to tickle your taste buds and you sense of humor, hashtag daily giggle. But approach with an open mind, you just might keep your sanity.
Sanity.
And where can we find you, Craig?
Pretty much on any Crime Watch episode for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm LimpstarUK, which, if you're watching, is on that blue bit there. It's nice and blue, like your passport, blue.
Oh yeah,
LimpstarUK
we've got blue passports now, don't we?
Yeah, good old Boris, blue. LimpstarUK with no space. Just that's on your TikTok, on your Instagram, on your Facebook. If you like or follow anything like that, I'm pretty cool with that. I'll follow you back. And I'm currently on X, on Twitter. I'm Network Stooge. I've not got around to changing that, but like I say, follow me, interact or whatever, and I will reply and follow you back because I'm nice like that.
It's just quick final look over the chats before I send us off. People are speculating that Bound for Glory might be coming to London. Wow, if that's the case, then that is one I did not expect coming. But
yes, Adam, Jimmy, if you're still listening, guys, we're going to London to watch the wrestling. That would be insane. That would be man, I've got to go. I've got to.
Yeah. But Anyway, that is all we have time for. And with that being said, I've been the Joker. He has been Limpstar. And this has been Impacted episode 185. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. And we shall see you
Cheers,
next week.
guys.
The Bison will be back, so there will be a bit more controlled chaos.
Turkey teeth, hits and all.
Take care. It's been wonderful.
Cheers, guys.